This Cold War shelter trick outlasted decades, still standing today. Decades ago, when the shadow of nuclear war loomed over the world, ordinary people were forced to imagine the unimaginable. Hidden beneath the surface, secret bunkers, reinforced shelters, and ingenious survival tricks were quietly constructed. Some of these shelters were designed to last mere months. Others have defied time itself, standing still today, untouched, enduring the harshest tests of age, decay, and secrecy. Before we descend into this world of Cold War survivalism, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our curious community. Here we uncover the secrets that history almost forgot, and the tricks people used to survive when the world teetered on the edge. Have you ever wondered what makes a shelter truly timeless? Most fail within a few years: rust, water, structural collapse. Yet some persist. They outlast generations. They almost mock time itself. The trick wasn't just in steel, concrete, or locks. It was in understanding human oversight. Engineers and civilians alike discovered a simple principle. Shelters that appeared mundane were often the most effective. They weren't flashy, they weren't marked on maps, they blended seamlessly with the world above. It's a strategy that sounds almost too obvious, and maybe that's the point. Many Cold War shelters were designed with one goal: to survive in plain sight. But surviving wasn't enough. Longevity required a trick, a method, a secret layer of ingenuity that most modern structures overlook. So, what was the trick? It all comes down to microenvironments and isolation. Not just shielding from bombs or radiation, but from time itself, from moisture, corrosion, and natural decay. Engineers learned that air circulation, moisture traps, and the careful layering of materials could make a concrete and steel shell endure decades without maintenance. Some even claim that certain Cold War shelters could survive hundreds of years if left untouched. And yet, these places weren't built just for longevity. Many contained ingenious fail-safes, almost like mechanical puzzles. One misstep and the entire shelter could be compromised. Doors designed to lock under pressure. Ventilation systems that self-adjusted depending on airflow. Water storage systems that filtered themselves without electricity. It's easy to forget, in today's world of instant technology, that survival once depended entirely on human ingenuity. But here's the part that keeps historians and urban explorers awake at night. Some shelters weren't just hiding people. They were hiding information, inventions, and secrets. Maps, documents, experimental technologies, the kinds of things that governments didn't want the public to see, until decades later. And remarkably, a handful of these Cold War-era trick shelters are still standing and almost pristine. Consider one of the most famous examples, a shelter buried under an unassuming patch of forest. From the outside, it looks like nothing more than a mound of earth. But inside, it contains an airtight network of corridors, reinforced living quarters, and storage spaces designed for years of isolation. Experts who have studied it say the design is shockingly advanced, even by today's standards. How did engineers in the 1960s achieve what many modern architects cannot? Was it necessity or Was it something more deliberate, something experimental? Some theorists argue that Cold War governments didn't just want survival shelters. They wanted time capsules, hidden spaces where humanity could endure, or where the knowledge of a vanished era could survive, even if civilization above fell. And that's the genius of the shelter trick. It wasn't just building strong walls. It was designing spaces that could manipulate natural forces, humidity, temperature, even microbial growth, to slow decay. Astonishingly, some of these shelters relied on materials most people would never associate with survival. Natural clays, waterproof timber, and even specialized paints that resisted mold and corrosion. Some researchers speculate that if these shelters were abandoned tomorrow, they might still be functional hundreds of years from now. That's longer than most modern buildings last without intervention. Imagine walking into one of these shelters today. The air smells faintly of dust, but everything else is eerily intact. Doors still close with precision. Airflow systems work. Water tanks are clean. It's almost as if the shelter is waiting for someone. And perhaps that's exactly what it was built for. Here's another question to consider. How many of these trick shelters remain undiscovered, hidden under forests, fields, or even city streets? Some urban explorers believe there are dozens, perhaps hundreds, of these time-defying structures still hidden around the world. Each one a frozen testament to Cold War paranoia and human ingenuity. The irony? The very threat that made these shelters necessary, nuclear annihilation, never came. And yet their ingenuity remains. They outlasted the tension, the politics, the fear, and they quietly persist, waiting for someone curious enough to find them. It's a trick that combines survival, secrecy, and a deep understanding of decay. A lesson modern engineers and architects are only beginning to study in full. So, next time you pass an unassuming hill, a patch of forest, or even a forgotten industrial lot, ask yourself, could there be a structure beneath, hidden for decades, designed to outlast generations? Could it be one of the Cold War's most enduring tricks? And the question lingers. If these shelters could survive decades of neglect, what else have we overlooked? What secrets are still waiting beneath our feet, preserved in steel, concrete, and ingenuity? Some tricks are simple, some are genius, and some are reminders that survival isn't just about what you can build. It's about how well you understand the world around you. This Cold War shelter trick has stood the test of time, and perhaps it will outlast us all, hidden, waiting, enduring.